just like that. Back again. Glad to see everybody. Welcome back to yet another episode of Crypto After Dark. It's Thursday. It's 11 p.m. It's actually 11:01. But software takes a moment to connect. Sorry. Anyway, I hope you're all ready. Got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to start with the dollar, and then we're going to work our way down. I know everybody probably wants to talk about XRP. We can talk about XRP too, no problem. Got plenty of other stuff to discuss as well. But we're going to start with the dollar. Let's get into it. Not crypto before dark, right? That was Wednesday. Now we're crypto after dark. Good to see you all. So, camera on. There we go. I got two camera buttons now. So it's going to throw me off for a little bit and it's going to take me some getting used to on that end. Let's say hey to everyone before we get started. However, like button, please. They're free. They don't cost anything to do a like around here. All it does is help us out with YouTube so they see it and they go, hey, let's move these guys on up the chain a bit, shall we? And we shall. All right. Now that that's out of the way, let's say hey to everyone. Then we'll discuss some of these assets that are acting absolutely crazy, right? Well, not quite. We'll go over them and kind of explain what I mean. So, first person in, Ignacio Cervantes. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Frank, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Jehovah's Thickness says bedtime. Just thought he'd say hey real quick. What's good, brother? Alvin, what's up, dude? G Funkadillion, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Shirley, David Shirley, what's up? Educated Dummy, good to see you as always. King of Light. Mateo, Scott Hoylman, Jag, the MDDDDDD, the Doc. Hey, Dynamis, what's up, brother? He said, what's up, regular Keith and fellow assassins? That's pretty good. Shorty Guzman, what's up, my friend? Dave, just Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Jeremy Monroe, raise your hand if you hate XRP. I don't hate it, brother. This is just part of the game. I'm used to it at this point. Big Tex, what's up, Keith? One of us. One of us. Good to see you, my friend. Jay Richard, good evening, good morning, good day. Pascal Trudrell, good to see you. He says, yo. I can't do Sylvester Stallone, but that's the best I can do. Manalo, good to see you, brother. Miss Kelly Slade. Madame, good to see you. She says, hola, Keith, and all. Hola, hola, hola. What's up? Remember that song? Hola. She said, hola, ¿cómo está? I can't remember the whole song. That's what I remember. So, I've got the dollar index pulled up already for everyone. This has been a crazy ride, I'll admit. Just every time I thought the dollar was going to fade back and quit, it decides it doesn't want to fade back and quit. It continues to go up and up and up and up. I thought surely after that big move we had yesterday that we would close out a candle down. Didn't happen. It pulled this big wick right back up. Interestingly enough, when it pulled this big wick back up, crypto didn't fall off. As I said, there is a correlation, but it's not perfect. The correlation is there. You can't deny the correlation that as the dollar moves up, crypto moves down. But I don't think it's one-to-one, if that makes sense. I don't think it's a one-to-one correlation. I think there's more to it than that. After that big humongous wick, it still kept going up. In fact, XRP had the best day it's had in nearly a year. All right, so Bitcoin was up 5%. Ethereum was up 7.5%. Like everything had a great day yesterday. Atom, which had went completely short, was up 11% yesterday. And we'll talk about all these assets one at a time. But again, start with the dollar here. Still riding this uptrend as I have on the blue line right here. Hasn't quit yet. Still showing out. I still like this to go up and hit that upward box. Now, that red candle that you see here kind of gives me pause and makes me think this thing wants to slow down and stop. However, it hasn't yet. And it's done this multiple times to me where I thought it was going to slow down and stop. And it didn't. It just kept right on going. So, again, I'm stuck waiting here, right? Now, maybe forming a bull flag at the top up here. Again, nothing I can control. I must simply wait it out. I still think 112 gets hit because that box lines up with 1618 on multiple different levels. And I'll pull the short-term fib right here so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go, from this top to this bottom, because it's a little short-term downtrend that broke out and went north. Went clean through Sniper's Alley, tested the top of Sniper's Alley, and now continues to move up. I didn't expect it to move this fast. I actually thought it would be really slow. I thought it would grind away, likely come over here to the trend line, tap the trend line, and move up. However, it decided to do it all at one time. All right. It did go all the way up and touch 111.81, almost 112, but not quite. 111.671 offers a heavy barrier to progress here to slow things down a little bit, and there's not much we can do except wait for that to happen. What about after that? Right? What about after it goes up there to that yellow box and strikes it? Then what? Well, that's what we have other indicators for. So if I pull up the daily RSI, you'll see there's a bit of bearish divergence here, right? RSI strength has been slowly tapering off, although running up currently. It's been slowly tapering off little by little, right? I'm not sure how long this will or won't last. What I can tell you is that it's been slowly grinding down. I thought it was going to break this divergence. Hasn't yet. That may still happen. It may actually ride down a little farther before it breaks and goes back overbought again. That's on a daily. What about weekly? Weekly, different story. Weekly has broken that bearish divergence that was formed out, moved up across the trend line, and it is over into overbought territory at a higher level again. Again, all this above this dotted line up here represents overbought or a potential sell zone. But as you see, ever since the beginning of June or beginning of April, middle of April, it's been overbought. It's been overbought for quite a while and continues to run hot. What about monthly? And I'm going higher in time frames and higher in time frames. The RSI is 79. Now, how high can it go? Someone's probably going to ask. How high can it go? We saw crypto reach all the way up to 90, 92, 93 on the RSI. How long has it been since the RSI got this high on the dollar? Back in 2015, the dollar in March of 2015, the dollar went all the way to 82 on the RSI. That's the highest level it's been at since 1984. 1984, it went up to 82 as well. Do I see it going past 82? No, but there also are quantitative tightening. What is quantitative tightening? Quantitative tightening is them removing money from the market, which makes whatever money that's in the market more valuable. As there's less of it, it's worth more. And I'm referencing the US dollar. I'm not referencing all money, just the US dollar. Also, treasury bonds are very good right now. They're offering you 4% to do nothing. All right, simply loan them money so they don't have to print it anymore. And they'll pay you 4% plus give you your money back after a year. That's better than a savings account. Not even close. Not even close. Better than a savings account. So it's actually better just to put your money in a bond and give it a year and lock your rate in and get paid. Is that really that complicated? I don't think it is. You can buy bonds. Just Google it. It's not that hard to find out. What's the MACD look like? Damn it, I don't want to do ads. That's annoying. YouTube keeps doing that, popping up, telling me to put more ads out there. I don't want to do that. Monthly MACD on the dollar. Just screaming high. It's been as high as, let's see, the MACD line has been as high as 4. Right now, it's only at 1.7. So is there room for this thing to continue to range up? Yes. However, there is a good bit of divergence between the blue and the orange right here, which is the trigger and the MACD line. That may take a while to work itself out. This is the monthly chart. How about weekly? Yeah, right. Weekly hasn't been this high since, again, 2015. And if we scroll back a little bit, 2008. If we scroll back even farther, in 1985, the MACD went all the way to 5. 5 on the weekly. Right now, we're at 2.5. Right, so let's see what happens. They are actively tinkering with the money supply. And as you do that, that creates issues. So I don't know exactly how far this is going to go. What I do know is it's broken bearish divergence on every level and now has bullish convergence on a high time frame, even though our indicators are running hot. So as long as the indicators keep running hot, as long as I continue to have bullish convergence on all my indicators, and as long as the trend is pointing up, I must continue to think the dollar will increase in value. The repercussions of that are what happens to everything else as the dollar continues to increase? What happens to all these other assets? What are they going to do? What are they going to do, right? Well, history tells us that crypto is going to come down some because of that. Now, as you've seen today, everything kind of came up, gave us a little pop in the face, but a lot of stuff got rejected at the 8 EMA, okay, or the 21 EMA, which are barriers to having a buy signal. XRP is not one of those. So we've talked about the dollar. Let's go to everyone's favorite, but they all want to talk about XRP. Look at this shit. It's clearly broken through 1618, which just so happened to be right at the 200-day moving average, which just so happened to be at the 200-week moving average. It has blown clear through a major barrier. Blew clear through it like it wasn't even there. Now, I know what people are going to say. Oh my God, we're mooning. I get it. This is what happens. People get emotional. They see things like this and they can't help themselves. Oh my God, you don't understand, Keith. It's happening. Well, I'll tell you to hit the pause button a little bit and don't overreact. This has happened before. In fact, this exact same thing happened back in 2019. That's when I lost all that money. Not falling for that. Not playing that game this time, okay? I don't believe this is what it seems. I think a trend line order may be a hit here. A trend line hit may be an order. I'm sorry. I said that backward, dyslexic. I think that may be what we get. If we pull a short-term fib right here, we're right up against the 50 now. I got to expect this zone to fail. And the reason I say that is, again, all the indicators are running hot. RSI, overbought. When's the last time when's the last time the RSI was overbought on XRP? February of 22. And it wasn't overbought at this level. It was overbought less. And from there, what happened? All the way oversold. Before that, August 21. And then what happened after it went overbought? It went all the way back down to oversold. Failed hard. Same thing back here in April 21. All the way back to oversold. Every single time this thing has went overbought, less this position right here in February 21, big oversold afterwards. I'm to assume that's what's going to happen. I cannot assume that this thing is just going to blow through this trend line amidst all of these other assets failing and magically XRP is just going to go, ta-da, I ran way up. I can't see it. I just can't see it. Let's look at XRP dominance. Again, if it doesn't stop at the 50, you have a barrier at the 618 at 58 cents. There is more resistance right up here. If you look, you can kind of see them right around here. Right around here, there's resistance. What happens to be so at the 1618 line right there. All right. That could act as a natural barrier. Fail out there, and then we come back here and test the 200, see if we can hold it, see if we can't. We'll see one step at a time. This asset has outperformed everything the last week. That being said, let's remember, please, we are way down from 2021 highs. Way down. You are still 73% down from where we were at the worst performing asset time in 2021. In case you didn't know, XRP was the worst performing top 10 coin of all of them in the bull run of 2020, 2021. The worst one. And it's down 76% from its worst of the best of the worst. All this, and it's still way, 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 way down. Please pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Okay? This is a long, slow, drawn-out process that hasn't finished. And I need everyone to understand that. This same stuff has happened back in 2018, back before that in 2014. You can kind of see the rhythm of it, okay? Similar thing right here happened in 2020 and 2019, 2020. You had this run up where it played around with the 200, blew right through it like it wasn't there, yeah? Kind of like it's doing right here, blowing through it like it wasn't there, yeah? Made a little bottom, right? Made a little bottom, right? Blew through the 200, and then big time failure. Just so happens, if we look back here, move this, pull a trend line on this. Just so happened that tagged the trend line perfectly and then failed miserably. Just so happens that we're heading for the trend line and potentially failing miserably. Halvening date. Was that, when was the last Bitcoin halvening? Can someone please type that in the messages for me real quick? That way, If someone will type the Bitcoin halving for me in the messages real quick, I don't got to Google it. But I'll mark it on the chart right here. I'm going to say it was somewhere around in here, June, I think, of 2020. I can't really remember, though. So if someone will mark it, tell me what it is, I'll mark it. And then you'll be able to see the difference in time from where we're at now to where we were then. Okay. And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. What are my expectations here? Honestly, May 2020. Thank you. So yeah, May 2020. I was right. I said June. I was close. So May 2020. May 2020, before we came up and hit the trend line, that was 107 days later that halving happened. Okay, let's go see how many more days we've got to go before halving happens again. Next halving is not till April of 2024. Still going. It's still going. 562 more days. Where's that at back here? Where's that at back here? Where's 562 more days at? Ooh, somewhere way back here where it was fiddling with the 200 back here and slapped it. What I gather from this, the whole point in showing you this, is this looks like it's going to tap the trend line and fail more to me. I expect a lot of assets to kind of get close to the trend line, hug the trend line, tap the trend line, fail the trend line. I just don't see a lot of bullishness out there. And even though this move feels really, really good, don't let your emotions get the best of you. This thing can absolutely fall like a freaking rock. We've seen it do it before. Don't want anyone to get burned. This is how I got burned in 2018. It's how I got burned in 2019. And it's how I'm going to prevent ever getting burned again from here forward. I'm not going to be the sucker. Not going to do it. This has already gone past what I thought it would go past. As you see, I have a green line there that says short. I had a stop loss set at 51 cents. It likely just kicked it. It was not a big short. It wasn't a humongous short. I just put a little bit on it. It's fine. If it kicks it out, and I can always redo it. I don't mind losing a little bit of percent on my trades. I've told you people that a ton of times. Okay, I don't mind if I lose a little bit. It's fine. I'm cool with it. Gonna win way more than I lose. You have to take a couple chances every once in a while in life. Don't be scared. Also, this thing blew right through the 382 field like it wasn't even there. Usually unsustainable. Blew right through this zone like it wasn't even there. Again, I expected to come back down to that zone and play around in it. Now, before I go too far, let me see some comments over here real quick. Jay Richard, what's up? Luce Jr., Kevin, good to see you, brother. Ever Forward, Oculus Vision, what's up? Ignacio, what's up, Nick? Good to see you, brother. Big Jeff, Cycling Cotton, Irias, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Frank says bank money. I know, right? I guess I'm going to get the break out my shorts one more time, right? I actually put a short on it. It failed. I can run another one. It's no big deal. I think I lost like $11. Right? What to do? Bottom usually between 515 and 560 days before halving. There you go. They'll convince me by breaking said trend lines. Exactly. So like Terry said, 515 to 560. Oh, my eyes. Eyes are bothering me. Eyes been bothering me for the last couple of days. The weather's changing here. So yeah, I mean, we got any time here now till another 2 months. You know what I'm saying? That's what Terry's saying. If you kind of look at it, you get a cycle on when the bottoms typically do or don't come in. Just show me a break of a trend line here, and I'll be happy to tell everyone, yeah, I think it's bullish. But playing around with the 200 EMA, or playing with the 200 moving average like this is more of a hold up move to me than a, oh my God, we're super bullish move. Hold it up here and maintain it, and we'll see. Let's move on to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Dirtbag Millionaire, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Late to the party. What's up? Brett Denaro, don't forget BNB rose from $10 to $300 in a bear market. I don't think so. I don't remember, honestly, because from $10 to 300 in a bear market. So BNB actually went from, I see what you're talking about here. It actually went from $20 where the bear market stopped and the bull market started. You see that right there? It was no longer a bear market at that point. That point right here took the bear market away. When it broke this trend line right where that arrow is pointing, trend line was broken and an uptrend started right there. And it was no longer a bear market. It was a bull market from that point. From $21 to 689 was 100% all bull market. Now, if you're talking about back here, that's different. That's a bear market. No, it's not really. This is, well, I guess that kind of is a bear market. Maybe this is the area you're talking about. It's more like $8 to 42. You could argue that one more than you could argue the other one. But again, I don't really expect that kind of performance from everything. Things are getting more mature now. And until I see some more bullish things happen, like trend lines break, I just can't buy it quite yet. I can't buy it quite yet. I got plenty of money ready to buy. I want to buy. Okay. I'm ready to unload some stables and buy stuff. It's just not time yet. Crypto Shadow, what's up, brother? He says thoughts on cost. Let me write that down. All right, let's go to Bitcoin real quick and look at it. So far, we've done the dollar index. I've done XRP. Let me get a drink of water here. As the weather changes, my eyes get dry. I get a lot of cotton mouth. Nothing I can do about it. And as you see again today, the dollar's up 0.03%. Crypto's up with it. You know, sometimes you just don't wrap your head around things exactly the way you want it to. You just stop and sit on your hands and wait. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So here you go. Bitcoin's pushing up against the bottom of the AEMA. Had this big fall off and it rode down a bit, slapped around on the bottom of the AEMA a little bit. It's getting pinched between this AEMA and this support line right here around 18,500. Obviously, 20,000 is the big psychological barrier. It's having a hard time getting over the AEMA. It's touching the bottom of 20,000, which is not good. That's actually super bearish. So we want to see this break over 20,000 up here to where these green boxes are and get up here and hold. If it could do that, great. I would be thrilled to see that. Unfortunately, that's not happening. It looks to be failing that level and staying under the AEMA. If this continues at this pace, it's just going to keep coming down and threaten 16,500. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see it all go up. Okay. I am a little frustrated because I had shorts running, but welcome to the real world where things don't always go your way. And I'm okay with that. Ethereum. All right. Ethereum's doing what I thought it would as well. We saw it come down here and run to support. I expected a bounce right here around this green box. And I still expect this price action to kind of run up a little bit more, honestly, to around 1,450 to 1,490. And from there, fiddle around a bit and fall back down to the same support level, potentially hold it. And if it can't hold it, the next level down is going to be around $1,000. Now, that isn't a for sure thing. We have to wait on it and see. When's that going to happen? Great question. I don't have a crystal ball. I just play the chart as I see it. There's no reason to try to be a mind reader. The weekly chart looks just as bad here. Not quite oversold. MACD hasn't even rolled over and quit yet. So I think we have another couple weeks of this sideways down slice action. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. Again, break some trend lines and I'll completely change my theory and then we'll go into a bullish sentiment, but I can't yet. I can't yet. Happy to do so when I see it. Adam. Oh boy, Adam. So I've still got my short run and I'm still in the profits. I'm still under on my 3S tokens. It continues to do this stupid shit. Just go away. I was actually getting closer to my profit before this weekly thing did this garbage. I need this to fail. I can always close out this 5X for profit. That's not a big deal. The 3S tokens, I'm still down on. I would love to see those reverse back up. I added a little bit to my position on the 3S tokens, and they're in profit, but the other part isn't. So I'm still down some. I need that to keep going down to around 1230 here. If that goes to 1230, I'll be right near my profit, I believe. So yeah, hurry up and get along with it, Adam. Let's do it. Now, if you're going to ask me what I think is going to happen here, we're still stuck under the 50 fib. We're still stuck under the trend line. It is over the 821. I will give you that. We do not have an 821 cross as of yet. And if you look at the indicators, they're kind of flat here. Right at the 50 line Okay, it's super close. You could say that we do have some bullish momentum here, and you could say that the bearish momentum on the weekly was broken, right? I could get down with that. Come down here and retest the trend line. I'm okay with that too. Again, I'd like to see this go up, but not before I short it. MACD, similar situation. MACD sweeping up, looking nice. Still hasn't crossed the midline yet. And we're still having a higher histogram every time. Super annoying, but that's just the way it is. I got to hurry up and let this thing die. And I can't hurry up and make anything happen, so I just got to wait it out. Late entry. What's up, Leo Double G? Good to see you, brother. BTC hadn't broken out yet. Nope, nothing's broken out yet. Almost everything's under a trend line. Almost everything. And if that's the case, just got to wait on it. It's also interesting to see that other assets are moving without Bitcoin because everyone says everything always moves with Bitcoin. Wrong. This is yet another example how everything's kind of doing its own thing. And then maybe that'll change soon, but it hasn't yet. XLM, I can put that on the list. Sure. It went up the last couple of days. Algorand went up the last couple of days. We'll do that one as well. So that's Adam. That's my thought process here. I don't see it breaking this 50 and this trend line. If anything, I see maybe a wick or so testing it. But if you can get over 15, you can come up here and test 20. I have to live with that if it happens. Nothing I can do about it. I'll play the ball as it lies. I'm happy to cut my shorts if it keeps going up past 15 anymore. I can't sit around in them anymore. It's just wasting money. I can always make more money. That's not a big deal. Matic. So a lot of people listen to me say, oh my God, he's going to lose a little bit of money. Like, he's terrible at this. You have to risk some money to make some money. And I'm okay with taking risk and losing some. I tried to tell everybody not to copy me. Now you're seeing why, right? I'm going to take some trades. I'm going to lose some. I'm going to win some. And the wins will be bigger than the losses. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So, Matic, similar situation. Tag the trend line, riding with the 200 EMA, riding with 200 MA, I'm sorry. There's a probability that this thing bumps up here against the 200 MA. I can understand it. Smack the 200. It did hit this green box like I thought it would hit. Can it maintain it? Maybe. If it doesn't hold this green box, this one down here becomes support. That's a long ass way down, isn't it? I know. I'm sorry. Is what it is. RSI, bearish divergence, falling strength. MACD, bearish, falling strength. It's stuck under the 8 EMA, but it's trying to push through it now. Everything continues to try to fight the best it can. It's super frustrating. Nothing I can do. Cost. A lot of people always say this. Cost is not on TradingView. If it's on Deck Screen or something else, you gotta let me know. That's what I was saying on Adam. Holds that 200 and it has some room. Right, yeah. I forgot to mention that as well. The 200 moving average right here. If it can get over the 200 and hold it, yeah, it's got room to go to $20. But it's got to break that 200-day moving average right there. And as you see, it's right along that trend line pressing down on the price. We'll see. It is still holding this trend line here as well. Like, I can't deny that. It's still hanging on. When it fails, I'll change my mind and say, hey, look, it's super falling now, but keeps hitting it and bouncing. I don't know how much longer this thing can perform like this, but it's got Cialis. CRO through trend line, taking on 150, 100 cross above. All right, let's look at that real quick. Crypto.com, huh? And we shall. Yep, breaking the 821 EMA. I don't even have the 100 and 200 on here. The 50 and the 100 on here. Let me put those on. There you go. Got a barrier right here at about $12. I'm sorry, 12.5 cents for CRO, which is the Crypto.com coin. Chronos, I believe it's called. Also a bit of a trend line right here. So let's see if it can break this and get past 12.5 cents. If we get past 12.5 cents, we could potentially run up here to the 200 moving average. Maybe a chance for you to scalp and grab some profits there. That looks pretty gnarly to me, so I'm not going to buy it. It looks like it's just a continuation pattern that's going to do the same thing over and over again. I don't want any part of that. But, hey, if you want to get in and scalp, get in and scalp. XLM. Similar situation, bumping the trend line here. This is what I was talking about XRP doing. As you see, it broke the 50 and the 100 and the 821 slapping the trend line. We'll see. One other interesting point real quick. For whatever reason, I keep having people messaging me and telling me that the bottom is in for a certain few coins. And you know this because you have a crystal ball. I think that's you saying that you own these coins and you're hoping that the bottom is in because you think you're going to make a lot of money. And I need everyone to take a moment and hit the pause button and realize the emotions can't be allowed. I don't have any favorite coins. I have no favorites. I'm coin agnostic. I'm only here to make money. If you tell me that HBAR, XLM, XRP, and one other one have all hit the bottom, well, we'll see. But I think that's just an emotional reaction. Hit the pause button for a moment, okay? If we look at weekly on XLM, you're still stuck under the 21 EMA, which just so happens to be right at the trend line. If this can't break this trend line, it's going to get gnarly. It could come all the way down to 7.5 cents here. It's going to suck, isn't it? I believe we're support rattling, support bouncing. 50 and the 200 are about to have a death cross on the weekly. It's going to take a few more weeks to work out. This may just be the reaction to the death cross. Again, be careful. All right, Algorand. Hey, look, it's up 7% today, threatening to break this trend line as well. It looks like it's going to continue breaking trend lines and smack that 200-day moving average. Just like all these other ones are trying to do. It was a delayed reaction, and it sucked because I thought this was going to be the move when everything went up and broke the 200, and it all failed the 100, and now we're breaking the 100s, and now we're getting through the 200s. Super frustrating. Super frustrating. Here's Algorand attempting to break a trend line now. If you're a hodler, you're loving this because you're talking shit to me. It's cool. Don't mind me. I was just here for the 78% drop that happened before all this happened. Be careful before you talk a whole lot of shit, okay? That's all I'm saying. You do have an 821 cross. You do have all the moving averages turning up, but you're still stuck under the 200. This thing hits the 200 and slaps it and falls sideways. You're going to get tied up with liquidity, stuck in a downtrend. I don't really want to see that. So just play smart here and don't do anything silly. Again, similar situation where everything's trying to bounce up and run to the 200. It looks like ADA is going to try to do the same thing. Solana, maybe it runs up there, maybe, but it looks a little worse than others. KNC already did it and failed, never quite made it. SHIB already did it and bounced down. HBAR, man, that thing's got a New York mile, which is a long way to get to the 200-day moving average if that's what it wants to do. FTM, before someone asks, still in a falling wedge, big pinch happening, big trend line happening. Let me see it. Gala, under a trend line, under support, looks rough. We already talked about Atom. Just got to wait it out. BNB. I'm still short on BNB here. I'm still well in profits here. So we're good. It's over the 8 EMA, but it's under the 21. You got the 50-day curling over and coming down and the 200-day moving average coming down. You're under a trend line. You're under the secondary trend line. If it loses this bottom white line right here, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Now, don't anticipate that necessarily happening. It could just ride sideways all the way to the middle of October. As you see, there is room for this thing to ride sideways. We're going to see what happens if that plays out. Again, the longer it sits here and idles, the worse off it is. It needs to break barriers up, not idle. All these assets need to break barriers up. They do not need to sit idle. Man, I really want to buy some stuff. You know what I mean? I've got a ton of stable coins that I want to unload. Man, it's just the wrong time, in my opinion. I don't think we've fallen far enough yet. I know that's crazy to hear me say that, but man, I've said crazier shit before. Flux fell back under the 200-day moving average. Atom may very well do this, where it got stuck under the 200, then popped up for a moment. XRP is currently doing this. Got stuck under and popped up for a moment, and then fell back under. Flux did it first. And I also think Matic no, Matic didn't do it. There was a couple other ones that did. 1 inch? No, 1 inch trying to get up over the 8 and 21. Sushi trying to get over the 8 and 21. Zilliqa I had a barrier set at the 200 moving average here. It just never quite got there. A lot of these are happening the same way. Dot. All right. Yeah, similar situation, but the trend line's a little lower on dot, so I'm not sure it makes it all the way to the trend line. I'm sure it makes it all the way to the 200-day moving average, which is way up here, kind of sailing. You know, if it came down and dropped a bit more, like this, and that 200-day had a chance to roll down some more, then we could possibly come up here and tag it. You see what I'm saying? If it had a chance to roll down, then you come over here and tag it somewhere over here. That makes more sense to me. But then you have XRP doing what it's doing. So sometimes there's no sense to be made. You just got to let it happen. Now my new plan on this one is to short this one at the trend line. So when it gets to the trend line, I'll throw another short on and we'll give it another try. Then, if it doesn't work after that, I'll just stop. I can recognize overbought indicators when I see them. I can recognize a chart that's blowing through resistance without testing it first when I see it. And when I see that, I like to counter trade it. I just did CRO, Ali. When do we decide a bottom is when do we decide a bottom is a bottom? Weekly 821 cross confirmation? That's an excellent question. I would say major support, but if we're looking at weekly 821s, that may be a great signal. If you look back in history a bit, I didn't mean to do that. If you look back in history a bit, it may be Ethereum, which was pretty darn well behaved over time. Erase all this. Let me take just the 821 here so we get this other stuff off. It's a little cleaner with nothing else on the chart. So we had a fall down here and we had an 821 cross and it ran up, but again, you had another pullback after that. So you really weren't out of a bear market until that happened. Then you had another cross up with another big drop down. So I'm not sure a weekly 821 cross signifies it either. I think it's cyclical. I think that's the answer. I think cyclically speaking, once we get to our halfway point to halvening, then we can start to see a pre-market move up. But we haven't quite gotten there yet. I think we're another 100 days away from that. Like I've said before, 100 to 130 days away from that. That's going to be a bit. I think that's when the bottom comes in. Are we at some support now? Yes, on Bitcoin. We've talked about this before as well. This range right here where we're at. Right there at the very top of the previous all-time high, which we had never tested that before. It never happened before where it had come down and tested post-market all-time high. It always just blew right through it and never came back down. This one's not even close, as you see. Right there's pre-market all-time high in 2013, and here it is in 2018. Here it is in 2017. Here it is in 2022. See, there's a year missing there. That should be 2023. You see what I'm saying? It's not a 5-year cycle here. We're not there yet. We still have a couple months to go before that happens. So, give it a couple more months. Where does the chart end up at? Does it stay under these trend lines? If it stays under these trend lines, it's going to get stuck and pushed down more. If it gets pushed down more, 16,500 becomes the next available target. I mean, that may be the bottom, but that's weak support. Honestly, isn't it? This is all the support that's there. There's good, strong support down here at 11,008. Man, that sucks. 11,000 is where the good, strong support is. I don't want that to happen. That sucks. I think that'll root a lot of people out, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that push a lot of people out and them not want to come back? Kind of the way I see it. Most alts won't bottom until second BTC bottom if they follow the same pattern as last time, which would be the end of 2023. Right. See, that's what I'm saying. That's tough, man. That's tough. Get a drink of water. By the way, if you haven't done so, excuse me, we talk about this stuff all the time on Discord. Here's our Discord page. Discord.com/invite/786. I'll put this over here in the messages. Copy. X out of this. X out of that. And paste right there. It's a link to our Discord. We talk about this stuff nonstop, 24/7, 365. I'm more than welcome to hear anybody's opinion. I'm not special. I'm not a magician. I just read the charts, and when other people speak and other people start talking, I try to listen to what they're saying too. If you'd like to sign up for Launchpass, which fully unlocks the Discord, here is the link. There's even a short video for you to watch that tells you all about how it works. Okay, it's very simple to use, very easy to use. Knock yourself out, right? You don't have to sign up if you don't want. It just fully unlocks the Discord so you can see everything that's going on. There are over 40 channels to look at. On the general chat, I think you can only see a few of them. So that's for you if you want to do it. Everything's sitting idle right now. Let's go down on some lower time frames real quick and have a gander. Adam on a lower time frame, 821 cross, not quite, but you are over the AEMA. Problem, you're stuck under everything else. Right? You're stuck under the 50, you're stuck under the 100, you are over the 200. In fact, it tagged the 200 yesterday and made this run up off of it. Now, I listed this in the Discord and said there's a good scalp for someone if you want to take a run at it, right? Bounced the 200, I said, here you go. I don't know if anybody saw it or not, but I posted that and said you may want to get in on this, right? I'm short on this Adam trade, and I'm going to leave it be. I don't stress over this stuff as much as other people do, so I'm more free with my take profits. I'm more free with my stop losses. I'm not gonna panic about this stuff. It doesn't affect me emotionally like it does other people. And I get other people want to take their profits sooner, or they start getting worried or whatever. It's fine. And I understand that. That's just part of the game. All right. Someone got on me about this the other day. They said, "Well, why don't you just why did you do this trade? That's stupid. You shouldn't have done that." Well, dude, I list my trades to be open with everybody. I could just say I did something or say I didn't do something and bullshit everybody, but I can't stand that. I can't stand that. I can't stand when people bullshit each other. I don't like that at all. And because of that, I list everything I do to be transparent and show you guys that I'm not a liar, right? Most guys don't do that, but the truth is, it's not something you should hide. You know what I mean? There's no point in trying to hide this stuff and keep it secret. If you want to be a public figure like I'm here doing this, then you kind of need to be open with what you're doing. Now, personal bank account, I don't put that shit on there. That's nobody's business. Just like I don't need to know your personal bank account. All right, someone says theta over here. I believe that is Crusader. Says look at theta. So let's have a look at theta. Let's have a look at theta. 4 hours hitting the 200 moving average. 821 EMA has been broken, but we don't have an 821 cross just yet. We're stuck down below the 50 and the 100, way below the 200. Kind of riding this trend downward here. You had this one move up, but then it's failed since then. If this thing were to run to the 200 moving average, that is a country mile. That's 60-something%, isn't it? Yeah, it's right at 60%. That's a long way. Is that going to happen? We've seen other ones do it. I can't deny it, right? Can't deny it. Just be careful. I don't want anyone to get suckered into something they can't get back out of. Don't be exit liquidity. That's an important thing to say. Don't be exit liquidity, okay? And as I talk, my freaking thing's lagging out. And I got almost everything closed. And it's still lagging out. So frustrating. Let me close some of these tabs and save on some data. XRP, let's go back and look. Is it still running way past the 200? Like it's not even there. And I tell everybody this all the time, but the 200 moving average is a magnet, right? Way past it in either direction, it tends to come back. And as you see, it did so. The farther up we go, the more likely it's going to come back. So just, you know what I'm saying? Be smart here. C98 CHZ AVEX. I don't know what C98 is. C98 CHZ AVEX. Let's do C98. I've never seen that one before. Oh, it's a coin. How about that? And it's on perpetual context too. Well, that's pretty cool. No for this one. Still fading around. Hasn't even got over the 821 or the 5100, which are at 45, 48 cents on C98. If you want to run to the 200, I would wait till it got over these first. Then you could potentially run this up to the 200 worth a shot. But not until then. If you're gonna, there's chances to scalp here, and I can't deny that. I'm not going to deny that either. If you want to try to get a run on some of these, you can. Chili's, look at this thing go way over the 200 and all the way up here toward this high time frame trend line. Man, Adam could do this, and that's absolutely going to suck if that happens. Man, that's going to suck. Chili's is one of the top performing assets in the market. Went overbought right here. Faded down just enough to gain some more momentum. Bounced off of what appeared to be resistance that it flipped back into support. Man, one of the better performing assets. I can't deny it. What about weekly? What does that look like? Let me take these squiggly lines off. It's getting messy. All right, weekly wise, are you at Sniper's Alley yet? It's got to be close to Sniper's Alley. Yeah, sitting right in Sniper's Alley. And the weekly's heading toward overbought, but not quite there yet. So I think a trend line tap may be in order for CHZ as well, which is something. AVAX, still below trend here. AVAX is kind of underperforming compared to other ones, right? Stuck under the 20 mark. If it can't break the 20 mark, you're heading back down here to 1140. This one's a little bit easier to see. And you can see that there's a big head and shoulders playing out right here. See that? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder with a well-defined neckline. The neckline being anywhere between $11 to $13. So that range is going to happen if that doesn't break that trend line and break $20, roughly $21 actually. XDC, sure, let's look at XDC. We haven't looked at that one in a while. It's another one of these, oh my God, I got to have it coins. No, this one still is underperforming rather badly. Stuck under trend. So we're waiting on this one to move past the trend line. Hasn't done it yet. Similar situation. Once it crosses the trend line, we can talk about bullish and bearish. This is a weekly trend line as well. You're seeing that almost none of these have actually broken these trend lines yet. So pump the brakes on all this bullish talk. It's short-term bullish, not long-term. Money may be very well just drawn out sideways. And if we've hit the bottom, excellent. I would love to be wrong. And then we say we hit the bottom and everyone's ready to buy. But I can't yet. If trend lines get hit during the weekend, it'll be a sea of red before Monday. Yeah, that's kind of a worrisome thing to think about, isn't it? I want to short C98 not long. Oh, yeah. But the way things are moving, I would be careful on shorting as well. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's time to just sit on hands here for a bit. KuCoin doesn't seem to be working for me and one other person I'm talking to right now. Interesting. Try resetting your phone. That's what I did the other day when half of my apps didn't work and magically they came back on. As a matter of fact, before I started this stream, OBS Studio sent me another update telling me to fix it, and this will fix the bugs. Bullshit. That's how I feel about that. H-bar. Same boat with H-bar here. You're a country mile away from the trend line here. A trend line tap may happen here. But again, 2023 or somewhere past 2023, I expect most of these to test and or break the trend line. But again, not yet. If they go way down, it's going to take even longer, which again suspends us out that 5 years like you're seeing other assets take every single time, right? And I'll show you this one more time. When you look at the Bitcoin chart, the big Bitcoin chart, you see that right here was your halvening. May 2020. From the peak to halvening, 882 days. If we go 882 days from the peak to 882 days, that's April 2024, which just so happens to be when the next halvening hits. All right. So what was the bottom here from Bitcoin's previous peak to halvening? Half of 882 is 441. Let's go 441 days over. Right there is 441 days. This vertical line in red, that is halfway. Let's go halfway over here from the peak. Right there. There would be our halfway point. We are 3 to 5 months away from that, depending on where you want to measure. If you measure back here, we've already hit it. If you measure from the peak like we have here, we haven't quite hit it. So, again, I say, I think it's this peak because if you measure out, that shows you the next halvening, which will be all the way out here in April, right there. That's the next halvening. Halvenings here are in green. Midway from the peak, which we can do in blue, right? We'll do those in blue so you can see it. Here's the peaks. You can start to see the cycle of this, right? Blue, red, green, blue, red, green. And this goes back in history and does the same thing back here. Don't think this area is special, okay? Blue, measure out, 440 days, red, and then green, right? Not really right there, more like June right there. And that one is green. It's very cyclical. Look, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green. Again, am I wrong? Am I lying to you? I just see the cycle hasn't finished out yet. It shows this almost every single time when we get before halfway, we have a big fall off. Right here was before halfway. About 98 days before halfway, it dropped. About, let's see this one, how far this one is. About 100 days before halfway, it dropped. Here's halfway. There's 100 days. So a couple weeks away from a big drop. By cyclical nature, there's your talk, right? There's your information. I wish it was different, but I can't go off anything different until something changes. Like I just showed you right there. I can't say it any more plainly, all right? 3 people's phones and 1 Mac. Intermittent network errors. That's weird. Just letting everyone know right now, don't get in a critical time crunch with KuCoin at this point. Right. Ape trying to break over the cloud. Oh, that's cool. Let's look at ApeCoin. That's my Bitcoin speech right there, okay? So keep that in mind as this next few weeks play out. I'm going to leave this red line up here right here. I'm going to label this midway. I think that's a good idea. Let's label this midway. Midway. Which has more meaning than one, right? Because my grandfather was in World War II. He wasn't in Midway. He was in Okinawa. But still, that's in the South Pacific. And really, Okinawa is not the South Pacific. It's just the Pacific. But whatever. You get what I'm saying. We'll see how this bears out. And let's do 100 days as well. Let's mark out a 100-day line. Because I'm interested to see if this plays out myself. And we'll do this right there. And we'll label this 100 days, right? We'll label that 100 days. Okay? We'll see what happens. And I'm happy to eat crow. I'll even put it on Twitter. And I'll say I ate crow that I was wrong. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's look at ape. All right. Ape's had a nice little idle going right here. Nice little heartbeat rhythm. Bouncing back and forth between 786 and 618, back and forth. He said it's looked like it's breaking the cloud, so let's put the cloud up there and have a gander. Sure enough, right. Price is trying its best to get up over the cloud, isn't it? Hasn't quite succeeded yet. Is there a chance it succeeds? Absolutely, there's a chance it succeeds. Look at all the moving averages under the price. Now, you don't have a 200-day moving average here because it hasn't been around for 200 days to have that moving average even exist yet. But I bet you it's going to come in somewhere up here, right? Just like the rest of them. Let's be realistic. But you do have a big ball of moving averages here. That's good support. You have some momentum left. This is actually crossing the midline here with the MACD. Can't hate it right here. ApeCoin very well could continue to go up here. And that's awesome. I hope it does for you. That'd be really cool. I don't know if you're in that or not, but there's a chance for you. Still shorting ETH? No, I've already stopped shorting ETH and made my money. I shorted it down to that support line like I said I would, and that was it. I'm seeing 606 as a good short entry at that 50 fib weekly. Might give it a whirl. Right, I got you. Oh, you're welcome, Shorty. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Lek1111? Good to see you, brother. All right. 63 people on, 47 people hit like. If you want to, you can go ahead and like. We only got 4 minutes left, but we'll keep going here. All right. I hope this was an informative stream. It was a little bit different because charts have kind of flipped on us. And I know we have early signs that we're getting some buy signals, so everybody's getting that feeling right. I'm just trying to taper everybody's expectations here a little bit. I've lived through a bear market before. I already knew what happened before. Every single time I got that feeling like we were going up, it just blah, right? And I didn't understand the cyclical nature of it back then. Okay, as we go and we go through this journey a little bit at a time, we gather knowledge on the way. And I've gathered this knowledge along the way that, cyclically speaking, we got to wait it out. I don't have a problem waiting another 100 days to buy regardless. So it's fine with me. I have enough money to get along. I'm okay. I'm going to leave that money there, ready to rock when the time comes. By the way, I'll be going crazy in the Discord when I see buy signals. All right. I'll be throwing charts up like a wild man. Atlas. Let's see that one. Atlas coin. It's on FTX. It's on Bitfinex. Here's Bitfinex. Yeah, it's okay. So we're seeing other ones move up. If this can break the 821, you can run up here to the 100 moving average at 0066. But right now, you're still below the 8 and the 21 EMA. It's a little bit too much risky right now for me. XRP, he said, yeah, I knew you were talking about XRP. That's the only one up near 60 cents. It's at 53 right now. Trend line, yeah, trend line's roughly at 58-ish. Man, it's crazy, dude. Resistance is right around 58 as well. So, yeah, I may throw another short right there. And I could move some more money over and do a bigger short, too. I don't know if I want to play that game. I don't know if it's necessary. Not worth the risk, necessarily speaking. It is hella overbought. And I don't like watching stuff get that overbought without pressing it the other direction. I may go down on lower time frames and look for a good entry. I don't know yet. I'm just talking off the top of my head. It's not worth the risk, probably. All right, so we have 2 minutes left. That gives me time to talk. So we're going to be back on Tuesday. We're going to be back on Tuesday. On Monday, we'll have our weekly roundup at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time over in the Discord in the subscriber voice room. We'll have our weekly roundup. We go over all the top assets throughout the whole week. I think the only one I've been wrong about is XRP. All the other top assets kind of perform like we're talked about them doing. And whether that's an equity, Forex, crypto, doesn't matter. We talk about them all every Monday at 8:30 in the morning. Tuesday, we'll have our normal live stream. After the live stream, we'll have an admin group. You guys won't be privy to that. But on Wednesday, we will have another Zoom, another voice chat after the Wednesday live stream for Q&A. We do that every single Wednesday. This gives everyone a chance to come in and talk and ask questions and be personable with me. What you guys will find out is I'm just a normal guy like you guys. I like to sit and chat and hang out with all of you. You guys are my friends. I don't really have anybody I hang out with around here. No one really likes me. And I know I'm not the most likable person ever. Okay, I get it. I come off as a dick on the internet, and I know that. I've never been really good with people. If you remember the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, when Will Smith meets the guy with the Ferrari out in front of the New York Stock Exchange, he's like, man, I'll make sure you park my car around back. And he's joking. The guy says, yeah, that's funny, right? He says, by the way, how do you get a car like this? He said, really, you only need to be good at two things. You need to be good with money and good with people. Well, I suck with people, and I admit that. All right. I've gotten really, really good with money over the years. So the money part I have down. The people problem I don't. Luckily, the internet allows me to be bad with people. So not the best salesman in the world. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, you can. You don't have to. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate every single one of you coming and hanging out with me and hearing me babble. I'll be back next time. Thank you. I'll leave you with this. In the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. See y'all over in the Discord for the Zoom after this. Y'all be good. Peace.